What's up guys, it's B-Sensei. In today's video we're going to be going over all the maps in the Duo Showdown challenge, and I'll be giving you some suggestive comps so that you can be having good success when you're playing the challenge. Anyway, let's head right into the first map. Alright, in our first map we have Skulk. We're going to have three comps. I have like a kind of ranger comp, I guess you could say. I have a tank comp and I have a thrower comp. Now for the tank, the range comp, if you will, obviously on a map like this, you're not just want to run range as you will. There's pretty limited options. The best ones are definitely going to be a B is going to be the best one. You could also potentially go with a Byron or a Mr. P as well. But yeah, I definitely think B or Byron. You know, Mr. P is kind of more, off meta, not really, like the meta comp. As far as the tank comp, we have Edgar, and you could also potentially go Jackie. Jackie's really strong right now with that damage and that counter crush. Just does a lot of damage. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could go other tanks, but they're not really going to be as good as Edgar or Jackie. And for the thrower comp, now the thrower comp is going to be as strong just because that Colt gadget, completely hard counters Tick. So you could also search that out for Sprout. But yeah, the thrower, it can work, but yeah, just got to watch out for those gadgets. Let's hop into the next map. Alright, for our next map, we have Feast or Famine. Now, this is an interesting map just because of the mid. In that mid, you got a lot of grass over there, and you also got a lot of boxes. So, really, I have one comp that's going to stay on the outside, and I have two comps that go inside. And it's up to you, on if you're going to play the comp on the top. You're really not playing for the first place. You're just playing just to get that second place. That's really what you're playing for, because generally the team that wins the mid is gonna, with all the cubes, is gonna win. So generally, the goal of this is just to go around the outside of the map and take all the teams on the outside. Yeah, I mean, theoretically it's less risky to go mid, right? If everyone's going mid, you stay on the outside, right? But at the same time, if the mid team decides to go after you, a lot of times you really can't do anything. So this is why, to give you the best fighting chance against the mid team, we have Colt, B, which are probably two of the best brawlers, and of course B with B's gadget, you also have that opportunity of scouting the mid as well. Which is very important. If you're running a comp like this, you need to be able to scout the bushes in mid. So, your typical, like Colt Byron probably wouldn't work just because both of them together aren't going to be really good at scouting mid. You could also substitute out B for a Spike, because Spike also, with Curveball, could also do a pretty decent job at scouting mid as well. But let's talk about the mid maps. Now, I have Colt, Jackie, and Jackie goes mid. Colt doesn't necessarily, Colt should hang around the mid, but I don't think it would be best for Colt to just barge in with Jackie, because if you all die, you're all, because if Jackie dies, you're going to die as well. So definitely help the Jackie out, let the Jackie do the work, and you just help her out from the outside. Don't, and just in case you run into something like a Shelly, for example, you're both going to die. You could potentially switch out Jackie for another tank, but I think Jackie's the best just because of her splash damage is the best for getting all those boxes in the mid. But I mean, technically you could, switch out for another tank as well. But now for the bottom one, we have Byron, Jackie, and this is kind of like a tank healer kind of comp. And Byron would be a pretty good option because obviously you can heal up the Jackie or whatever tank you choose. And plus, Byron's range allows Byron to compete against Colt and a lot of the other range brawlers as well. Now, a comp I didn't really put on here is a comp involving Bo or Terra. You could potentially switch out any of these tanks for Bo or Terra, and those are also going to enable you to go into the mid. Bo with his star power, with his vision star power, and of course Terra with her gadget. So that's also something you can consider as well. But let's head into the third map. Alright, for our next map, we have Rock Raw Brawl, and this is pretty similar to Skull Creek. So as you can see, the comps are pretty much the exact same. The same comps that work there are going to work here. So there's really not much to add about comps, just, the same thing. A neat trick, though, that I like to do, and you maybe saw that in my duos with Pashi, is I like to, go into the grass sometimes and sneak up on the team. If any team goes for those boxes, like if let's say you're spawning at the bottom right, Right, and the team on the bottom left goes through those boxes. Sometimes I like to sneak through the bottom of grass and ambush them from behind as well. So yeah, I mean, the comps are pretty much going to be the same as Skulk. So let's hop into the next one. Alright, and for our final map, we have Acid Lakes, and this is going to be an open map. And so for our comps here, I have Colt B, Colt Piper, and Colt Byron, with the strongest one probably being Colt Byron, followed by Colt B. But you can also run Colt Piper as well. Piper definitely could be a pretty decent counter as well. But yeah, other than these, I probably wouldn't recommend running anything else. You could maybe run a Nanny. Maybe if you're good with Nanny, maybe you could run Nanny. Brock, and not really, since Brock kind of sucks. I mean, when he was good, maybe. But yeah, this is pretty much going to be your standard. I wouldn't really recommend running. If you run anything else, you're probably just going to get spanked by the range. I guess I gotta throw in the Edgar, maybe, but like, if you play carefully around Edgar, he's really not gonna be an issue. So yeah, it's pretty much just gonna be your range warfare, and yeah, hit your shots, and you should be doing good. And if anyone's running a brawler that it's not up to the task, you just bully them. So yeah, that's going to be the last one. Hopefully you guys do well. That's going to do it for this video, guys. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And peace.